have a look and enjoy. I hope this can stimulate some discussion and enlighten your lives. So, today's topic is castration. And I know it sounds like a weird topic, but it's been something I've been thinking about. Mainly because I heard a really interesting radio interview the other day with a man who had castrated himself. It was late night AM radio and pretty sketchy, but it got me really thinking. This guy had frustrations with, I guess he figured he had too much testosterone and it was wrecking his life and making him too aggressive and too horny, I suppose. So there are other ways to deal with that. But the thing that he did was found some kind of message boards on the internet and eventually contacted someone and met him in a motel upstate and actually had him castrate him there with some kind of crazy old farm equipment. So like I said, super sketchy. But the interesting thing with the interview was the guy had said that this was what he thought was like the best decision of his life. He was happy. He had done it 9 years ago and just, was really pleased. He didn't, he said he'd gained a little weight, but he'd just mellowed out a lot and he didn't have to worry about that entire element of his life. So that got me thinking, just how much of my life would change if I didn't have testicles. Not that I'm considering doing anything about that, but just how much identity comes from that, how much drive and ambition comes from that, how much of my time is just spent even in thought or whatever that would just be completely different if I didn't have those little guys producing the hormones or whatever. So that was an interesting thing. And then the next day, I actually was browsing at a used bookstore, and this book practically fell off the shelf into my hands, just like this. And it was called Castrated for God, and it was about a religious group in 18th century Russia that practiced self-castration as part of their faith. So pretty extreme. They were called the Skoptsky, or the Skoptsy, or something like that. And they were illegal because clearly people were mutilating themselves. The men had two forms of whatever. They would have castration, but then sometimes they even cut off the entire male member. And the women, a lot of them cut off their breasts in mastectomies. And this was not only just a sign of devotion, but it was a sign of like rejecting the beautiful and the physical in life in favor of the spiritual, I suppose. I didn't actually buy the book, it was too expensive. But I read the Wikipedia article, so now I'm an expert. But it really... Oh, I hate that. Someone set our computer to sing what time it was every day, and now it's 1 a.m. Anyway, about the combination of that and that is emasculation or castration and religion. Because there are a couple passages in the Bible that refer to it. The first is in Deuteronomy 23, where there's a rule that says the priests must have functioning testicles. They can't have crushed testicles or a removed male organ. You can't serve in the temple of God if you have that. Which, I'm not really sure the reasoning other than that they just want the cream of the crop and whatever. But also, there's a fairly well-known reference in the New Testament, in the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus is dealing with the issues of marriage and things, but then he goes on and has a really enigmatic little verse about eunuchs, and and it's in Matthew 19:12. I'll read it for you. For there are eunuchs who are born thus from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who are made eunuchs by men. And there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He who is able to accept it, let him accept it. So, he seems to give three categories of eunuchs as three categories of people that don't fall into the marriage format, and that is born eunuchs, made eunuchs, and self-made eunuchs. And this, I think, is where the Catholic Church derives the doctrine of a celibate priesthood, which, in my humble opinion, has caused them no end of trouble. And, I mean, it's caused them trouble, but it's caused a lot of young people's trouble with all the cases of molestation and whatever. So a lot of, I guess, sexually repressed and kind of messed up people. But I'm not saying it's all that way. I mean, some people, I don't know, whatever. And I'm pretty sure that that's not anything that maybe Jesus was intending when he said that. But it's an interesting passage anyway, and it's been the cause of lots of that kind of thing. So another interesting fact that I found when doing a little research on Wikipedia and here and there is that the church father Origen apparently castrated himself, and he's sort of considered the father of, I guess, Greek asceticism, like Greek Christian asceticism. I guess where I think this would be a really interesting topic is in regards to third gender beliefs in different cultures and transgendered type discourse. But this is already becoming a pretty long video, so I'm not gonna get too much into that. But anyway, that is this week's topic.